Good day. Welcome to another afternoon of Unplugged with myself, Mpho Tshabadira, and my brother, Akura.
Thank you, Mpho, for that introduction. And to the beautiful viewers out there, once again, you're welcome to Unplug, where we're going to unplug a lot of things. We have an interesting topic today. What are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about relationships, basically keeping a male relationship when you are married or keeping a female relationship when you are married. Is it okay? Is it acceptable or is it not?
Wow, that's a very interesting topic, and I know we're gonna be bashful. This is gonna get a lot of heat because of this topic, because it is a very sensitive and also I think is a topic that we need to talk about. It's something that we need to talk about, because a lot of people often misconstrue some of these relationships. So yeah, like I always say, ladies first. So let's hear from you. What do you think? Is it appropriate for a man or a woman to keep a relationship while still married?
My view is this. I think it's possible to keep a relationship as long as there is a mutual understanding and boundaries in that relationship. And if you are married, whether your wife or your husband, they must know about those relationships that you have.
How do you, I mean, in my view, I have opposite view to yours. I don't think as a married person, you should be able to, especially coming from a guy, that a woman should keep a male friend that, you don't have anything to do with. I don't buy that, because every man's, let me not use every man. Majority of the men are waiting for the opportunity, right? Mm-hmm. So you saying this person is your friend, chances are that if tables were to turn or any opportunity that arises, that man is going to get something.
What if let's say you come into the life of that woman, and you find that she's had this male friend maybe since childhood or since in her early career days or varsity days or school days, and you get introduced to this person as a friend, as a brother, as a friend, and then you still go ahead and marry the woman. Are you saying that because she's had that relationship for so long, then she must cut the relationship?
100%. The moment we start getting serious, let's say prior to you meeting me, you were with this person, you know this person as a brother, as a friend. The moment we become serious and want to get into a serious relationship, there should be that boundary where you decide that, no, this is not going to work anymore. What is the point of keeping a friend, a male friend, when you're married to me? What is the sense of doing it?
But can I just ask a question first before I respond to that one? Right. Because I want to go back to saying you came in knowing that nothing was ever hidden to say, oh, this is so-and-so, we've been friends for the last 10 years, and you could see that this is a purely brotherly, sisterly relationship. There's never been a relationship.
There's nothing like that anymore.
There's
nothing like that. I guarantee you 110%. There's a lot of research that we carried out that, and you can put that to test and see what I'm talking about now. Those people that you say this person grew from a friend to a brother, give them that test. You will see they will fall for it. Majority of these men are men that were rejected. Remember? They were friend zoned at some point. No. They have aspirations to become your boyfriend or husband. No. Some of them, because of your stand, they decide, okay, they can be brother and sister, right?
I disagree.
They're waiting for the opportunity to get something.
I think you are coming from a very, I would say, it's more like closed mindset, because
a shallow point of view.
A shallow point of view and a closed minded. Let me tell you why.
Yeah.
Because not every guy that comes into a woman's life has made a move on this person. Yeah. And I will say with me, not every guy that has come into my life has made a move on me. Yeah. Whether it was in a corporate company where you started off as colleagues.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And I'll give you an example. I've had a career where it involved a lot of selling.
Yeah.
You know, it's a sales background career in the different facets, and then in that line, you start developing friendships in corporate, and those friendships, as we started off as colleagues, those friendships then move on to from colleagues to just being friends. Now you're able to call on so and so. Oh, by the way, you know, there's an opportunity. You know. Then you start developing into a friendship. There's nothing else that has ever been there. Not even an approach, not even let me take you out for coffee.
How do you
or
guys
whatever.
communicate? What are the things that you guys share as friends? Let's start from there.
You communicate, and this is where I like that question. You communicate, it could be anything, whether it's, or as I say, they say, there's a word saying platonic, you know. Where you communicate, it could be literally from whether it's something that has to do with an advice on a deal or maybe life or something like that. But it has never been about beyond that.
Yeah, you know, that is where the problem is coming from, right? Let's say I'm a married man and you are my friend as a female friend, and I start talking to you about my marriage issues and I confide in you about things, talking to you about, okay, 1, 2, 3. Do you know what I'm building?
Why does it have to be?
No, because friends talk about everything. Yes. Let's put it where we're talking about friends now, who became brothers or became sisters. So we're talking about them in that context. We're not talking about just an ordinary for a colleague at work who you just have to communicate about these and all that. We're talking about somebody who you can actually talk to about things, somebody who knows you very well.
My view is this.
Yeah.
When it comes to advice on me, and this is where the boundaries and motive is important. Because if there has ever been let's say a cross over the line, it blurs the lines, all right? But if it's purely a relationship where you know that, oh, you know what, I've had this challenge, maybe you forgot a birthday, your wife's birthday, or you forgot you forgot something, or you know, like your wife is upset about something that you as a male, from a different perspective, you feel like it's you're biased towards a certain point. You speak to your friend, she's like, but she is right. Based on 1, 2, 3.
Big mistake.
Okay.
Yeah.
She is right based on 1, 2, 3. All right.
Yeah.
It gives you a different perspective to go back and say
that is a mistake.
Actually, you know, because your friend, you think your friend has your best interest at heart, don't they?
No, what I'm saying to you, listen, this is where we're making mistakes. I don't see the need why, as a married woman, you have male friends that you will confide in, you'll be talking to. That's number one. You don't have that. As a man, I'm not supposed to have a woman's contact on my phone that I'll be talking to concerning my marriages and all that. If that person is not a spiritual person. You can have your spiritual parents that you confide in, which the counseling obviously is approved. But then there's no point me talking to. The moment I start talking to a woman, confiding in a woman about the issues that I'm having, remember, I'm being vulnerable to that person. I'm opening up to that person. That's how that's how connections are built. Now this person now start confiding to...
Why would it all of a sudden change? You've had a relationship with this person.
Yeah.
This person has dated other people. You've dated other people before you got married.
Yes.
You know their life. They know your life. And you've been in a relationship for... you've had this friendship for whatever number of years. Why all of a sudden would you feel that... it's easy for you to cross the boundary, or you develop feelings for the person? If that was not the case before...
Can I tell you, there are some of unspoken intentions. We have that. Everyone, a majority of us have that. There are people that you grew up with that you had intentions, you wanted to. Even you kind of admire these people, but you never express that to them. And you guys will live in your lives. You move on to a point getting married. Trust me. As a guy, I'm telling you from a man's perspective, there are a majority of the men that are waiting for the opportunity in order for them to get that person. Because that is what they've been looking for. But then they don't express it. They don't express it.
They had the opportunity to have that person before they got married.
No.
You were friends with them.
Yes.
Before they actually
can I also tell you that there are people that you grew up with, you never look at them in that light of dating them. But it gets to a point where you start now looking at the qualities in that person that you are not seeing anywhere. That's why you see friends who go their separate ways, get married. This one will get married. It will not work. They will come back together. Why? Because they now realize that this is what I was actually looking for. So they are always there. There are men who are always there waiting. And men are hunters. They're very patient. They can wait for you for 10 years until they get to that point where they get what they're looking for.
But you get my point, what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Is that the marriage, it came later.
Yeah.
You were friends before. Mm-hmm. There's been many opportunities. If this person is your friend, you've seen them through their relationships, the breakups, the mend up, and everything in between.
Yeah.
You've seen them through the failures and whatever else. And the friendship still managed to remain intact.
Yeah.
You see.
Yeah.
So what kind of like change?
Take those two people and lock them up in a room, in a place, in a confined.
I would assume that you've had situations where, if this person is your friend, you have found yourself in vulnerable moments at some point. Whether it was, there's nothing that's as vulnerable as a woman or a man going through a breakup. All right. Mm-hmm. They say it always creates an opportunity to attach yourself to somebody else. So now you are married. And yes, the boundaries are the boundaries changes when a person gets married. All right. And besides the boundaries changing, it's also that the lines become very clear. There are certain conversations that you will stay clear of, but there are certain aspects in terms of if let's say you did business with this person, or you work with this person, or they're kind of like part of your family. There is a certain level of there would be a shift, but the shift would then still somehow impact the relationship, but not to a point of breakdown of the relationship. You get my point? You will still keep the relationship. I mean, this person is...
The examples that you're giving me, believe in me, most of these things are some of the reasons why marriages are being broken today. You see, there are people who are holding on to things. Some people are holding on to things that they cannot express. Like you're saying, you can have somebody that you guys grew up together, you build a relationship, become family, everyone knows each other. You've been through a lot of breaks up here and there, and right? But I'm telling you the truth. Some of them are holding on to these feelings that they cannot express, and they don't. And when the opportunity, we've seen it.
I know that in the instance, I'm not saying. Let's not.
I'm saying the percentage that you're talking about is low.
Yes, but
you get what I'm saying.
It is possible.
It is possible, but then
it is possible to have those relationships, and I'm so. I know that it is, because I know people that have those kind of relationships with no other motive, with no other ulterior motive, and the boundaries are clear in terms of. So if there's, let's say your marriage is going through issues, your friend is not your counselor. The true friend will say to you, my friend, why don't you look for a therapist or your pastor or whatever, in order to get counseling? Because a friend that knows the journey that you have walked before you even got married is a friend that knows that the solutions, they are not the solutions to the things that you will go through post-marriage.
That is your female friends who can advise you like that. Not
even male friends. I mean, there are people. Not everybody is. What is the right word?
Look, we have seen people who will advise you, give you all the good advices that you are looking for, and you will think these people have your interest at heart, right? Majority of them just want you to see how good they are. Look, the bottom line is, you don't have a number of a female friend or a male friend while you're married to be communicating with. We can be colleagues and let it end there. But because this thing leads to a majority of the people now neglecting their marriages because they focus more on communicating with their friends. You get what I'm saying? So you will see, if we are let's say if we're in a church, we're in the same department, let's communicate about the things that has to do with the department. The moment I start sending you a message that has nothing to do with what we do on a daily basis, yes, let's work like that. Then even if we are spiritual relationship, which being in the church where we worship, we can talk about the things that are happening in the church and let it end there. You can't be at home at night and then I will send you a message, check on you to know how you're doing. We don't do those things. You understand what I'm saying? So it's the reason why there's no married woman that I will have on my phone that I will wake up and say, good morning, how are you doing?
No,
if you don't have
you
any.
don't do that to your friends.
No, if my friend is married, there's no point. I will send her a message.
No,
that is something that her husband will do for her, not me.
But you don't do that. Which friend does that? I don't know any friend, any male friend.
Oh, there are a lot of them.
There
are a lot of them that actually.
I say, good morning. That's a very immature relationship. You don't do that.
No, these people that you're talking about grew up together.
Yes, but they don't.
They are friends, brothers.
Yes.
So now the wife will say to the husband, but you know him now. He's like my brother.
I think you and I are talking about different relationships now, because the kind of ones that I know, that I understand, are mature. Underline the word mature. Underline the word mature.
The mature ones are
mature relationship. Mature adult friendships.
Yeah.
That would there's no way that.
But is it appropriate though?
Let's say so sends me a message early in the morning. How are you, my friend? No, they don't do that.
No.
However, your friend will reach out. Oh, my friend, we haven't spoken this week. How are you? How things are going? Or go. But it's not the attachment that you are talking about. And this is where I really want to say, that's where emotional maturity is important. If we are talking about people that are very immature, that have not grown to that level where they understand their boundaries in their own lives, in their friends' life, in their relationships' life, that's a problem, because then the lines are going to be very blurred.
Do you know where maturity comes in? Maturity comes in when you abstain.
However,
that is where maturity comes in.
However, we are built for relationships as people. Then,
yes.
So your relationships will come in different forms. Your relationships will come in male forms, in female forms. They will come in different forms. And how that relationship is built up, it's where it's critical to understand. And that's what I'm saying to you, that if you find yourself, you have a female friend, you are married, and that female friend checks up on you, like you're checking up on a boyfriend, then lines have already been blurred. There's clearly a boundary that has not been.
But how about if that is what we were doing ever since we were kids growing up? We check up on each other, right? So she is now like a sister to me. So she's checking up, according to your theory, right? So she's checking up on me as a sister. How do you call that?
That's why I'm trying to make this a point, because I believe that, or at least the relationships I know are the ones that have grown to that point where people understand the boundaries. They understand the lines are not blurred, because you have journeyed through life together. I'm not going to be calling you at 9 o'clock at night thinking that you are free to have a fat conversation, No, you don't do that.
But then what you're talking about is not friendship then. Because when we're talking about friendship and brotherhood or sisterhood, we're talking about people who can actually converse about everything. They talk, they have conversation, they check on each other. That's what I'm... Because
that's what I'm saying. You are blurring the relationships then are blurred, because there is... I believe the relationship that is, when you get to the point, let's say you're 26, 30, you get married, or 35, whatever age that you get married, you're in your 40s, at whatever age, the people that you have as friends in your life are definitely not brothers and sisters that you are constantly at each other and talking as though you're not adults. An adult relationship is different.
People talk, but my point is, the bottom line is, don't have a number of a male friend on your phone who is not a colleague, who is not even a church member, who you're not doing any sort of transaction with, that you're communicating with.
I disagree.
I am telling you the only. Why do you keep? Okay, why do I keep? Why do I keep? Okay, let me give you an example. Let me give an example, right?
You are saying.
Let me give you an example.
You are saying. You are saying.
Yes.
You.
Yes.
Will not.
I will not, and it's not appropriate for anybody to do it.
Opinion to say that it's not appropriate.
It's not. Okay, let's say I'm me too.
I'm explaining to you.
Okay.
I'm explaining to you that there is levels.
No, forget the levels. In order for you not to be in that place where you have to be able to draw the lines.
In a way of that when the person
Sister Mpho, there's something you're not getting. There's something you're not getting.
Listen to this.
I am into fitness.
If you call me,
and I want to give you an example.
If the friend calls me, the friend calls me, there should not be an issue in picking up the phone because it's a friend. There's nothing else beyond that. You see. So in my view, this is
your view.
My view.
Yeah.
Emotional maturity is absolutely important. Boundaries are absolutely important. And there should not be a blurriness in the lines in terms of the relationships.
I'm not saying the friend should not call you. Get my point. I'm not saying the friend should not call you.
You're saying the person does not have a number.
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. If you have a colleague that you are obviously working with, or you have a church member, and you guys are always working on a project in the same department, it is appropriate for you guys to talk about the things that you are doing concerning work, concerning the department in which you belong to at church. But the moment now the person just take a phone and call you, that should not come. It should be, okay, I work from 9 to 4. That is the relationship that we have. So anything that we have to do. Now, I'm saying this because this is one thing that is destroying a lot of marriages. Right, out there, because you will see a lot of people are having now. You have to.
People have already created.
Your spouse is now contesting with somebody who you tag your colleague or your friend, and that is not supposed to be.
I'm pro relationships that make sense, not the ones that do not make sense.
Any relationship that is not work related, is not spiritual related, should be cut off. That's what I'm saying.
No.
Yes. If you are single.
I am totally.
If you are single, it's not a problem. But if you are married, I'm saying it from a point of somebody who is married. You get what I'm saying?
I'm talking about people that are married.
Yeah.
That are mature enough to understand that relationships come in different forms, and you manage those relationships in accordance to what those relationships are.
Yeah.
However, if you as a person, the Bible talks about having self-control. If you as a person,
it's the same Bible also taught that you should flee.
Flee from temptation, because it means that
in order for you not to be tempted, don't have those numbers on your phone.
The person is not mature enough, or the person is not mature. No, you're not.
You're
not mature enough, and you are not.
Do you know what our Father in the Lord said at some point?
The level of
do you know what Father in the Lord said at some point?
The level of temptation. Listen.
You know what he said at some point?
The level of temptation.
There's no, as a pastor, don't stand, or even as a spiritual person, don't say that you are too strong that you cannot fall. So the best way is for you to avoid that thing that will make you fall. You get what I'm saying? So this topic, I think this topic going to have part 2 for it, because we can finish everything.
Because you have opened yourself to that.
No, my point is,
if as a person you are the first point of contact.
Yes.
So if when you start looking at so and so.
Okay, let me speak for myself. Let me speak for myself. I have a lot of married women phones on my phone, my numbers on my phone, right?
Yeah.
But every one of them, it has to come from, let's say, spiritual point of view, work related. So whenever a message or a call is coming from, I know what that means. You get what I'm saying? There's no conversation that you will see me having with a married woman that is not work related, church related. You don't have friendship with them. You get what I'm saying? So I want it like that. I don't want a situation whereby you are saying to me as my wife that this person who is communicating with you is old school friend. Oh no, my brother is like a brother to me. No, I'm saying me. This is me. Don't do it. Don't have that. I will never have that. Yeah. So let us respect each other and also avoid temptation.
Yeah.
A point where I will have to now start confiding in my female friend about the things that is how you become vulnerable and then you start falling.
I think let's agree to disagree. Let's agree that for you, that's what would work.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I believe the majority of the men out there will support what I'm saying. Because they know, they say true.
I would say,
All right.
in a world where we know what actually defines relationships and the importance of emotional maturity and the importance of boundaries.
Yeah.
All right?
There's no maturity when
There
it comes to
is-
emotions. All right, we're out of time.
I'm wrapping up.
Yeah.
There's
no such a thing as
there is a way
maturity
to
now.
keep relationships that are meaningful in your life without them impacting on your married life as a person.
All right. Thank you so much. All right, to the beautiful people out there, this topic is actually very interesting, and I think we're going to have a part 2 of this topic. We should have a part 2 because we're unable to talk about some of the things that I wanted to say. I believe strongly that as a married person, I mean, there's no point having people on your phone that are going to cause you a lot in your marriages. Just make sure you keep it. Your boyfriends that you consider to be your brothers are actually the ones that are going to destroy your marriages. So make sure that you keep them at a point where business is business, church is church, and then your marriage should become number 1. All right. Until we come your way again,